Alright, so what's going on, guys? It's Alex and it's time for the long-awaited Warzone Firefight review. I meant to do this a lot sooner than I have done, but you know, I think over the few weeks that I've been playing with the update, I've been able to form a much more solid opinion on it, and it should remove most of the kind of bias that comes with the hype of a new update, etc. So I hope you guys will enjoy this review. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying the update as much as I have, but with this short little intro out of the way, let's just get right into the review. So first off, we're really going to talk about Warzone Firefight itself, which is the main selling point of the actual update. As a PvE mode, it is really good. It has a lot of potential in many areas to be an incredibly fun mode for lots of people to enjoy. If you go into it thinking it's going to be like the classic Firefight, then you're going to be disappointed because it really doesn't feel much like the classic Firefight. Really, the only similarity they share is some, like, the rounds getting progressively harder and the fact it's PvE based. Apart from that, Firefight is just a name that people can relate to and might invite more players to try it out. So go into it thinking it's just a new PvE mode and you will have a lot more fun with it, trust me. The one issue with it, however, is that obviously in the beta we only got access to one map, and while Ark is one of 2 or 3 of the very nicely polished maps for Firefight, a lot of the maps they're introducing for the official release do have some issues in terms of difficulty scaling, spawning, and all sorts of things, which kind of makes me wish that we saw all of the maps in beta so that these things could have been brought up earlier. But really, all I want to see out of Firefight in Halo 5 is some kind of constant tweaking and some improvements made to those maps so that the difficulty can be lowered a bit to make more players interested in trying out the mode. Urban especially has a lot of difficult rounds, especially early on, which can really turn off players in the mode. Speaking of new things, Attack On Sanctum is the new Warzone map, and I honestly can't sing its praises enough. It is beautiful as I expected from a map set on St. Helios. The layout is amazing with very specific vehicle routes and lots of little cracks and crevices that players can escape through to avoid said vehicles. And generally the layout is just a lot fresher and more interesting than many of the original Warzone maps, which is exactly what it needed to be to give some more life to Warzone itself as a game mode and Warzone Firefight as well. But to keep on the topic of Warzone, we're now going to move on to some of the REQs that have come in the update, and most notably the Wasp, which is the first human flying vehicle we've had since Halo Reach, and boy is it's incredible. It is a really well made thing. A lot of people were saying, oh, it's just a Phaeton reskin. It really isn't. It's a VTOL. That's like saying two kind of jets are the same, because they're really not. They operate differently, they serve different purposes, and for the purpose it serves, the Wasp is a lot of fun. The health is a bit low, but it is a level 3 REQ, so it's completely understandable, and just the sounds, the design, everything is just really satisfying, so very good job on that. The next REQ I'm going to highlight is the Halo 2 beam rifle, which is kind of one of the ones in the update which was like, really? You're going to add another thing? But it does feel very good. I don't even know what the difference is necessarily, but it has this just really satisfying kick to it, which the normal Halo 5 beam rifle doesn't have, and I really appreciate that out of the game itself. Now moving on, we're going to be talking about the arena segments. Obviously this wasn't just a Warzone update, despite what the title might say, and there was a lot of new arena stuff that was added, and that is really honestly my highlight of the update itself. So first off, in the arena portion of the update, we're going to be talking about the new arena map, Molten. I would call it the rig remix and stuff, but honestly I barely even see the rig in this one. I love how, as time has gone on, the remixes of maps and stuff that they're introducing to matchmaking they don't really play anything like the original map they're meant to be based off. Molten, apart from being another kind of map in the human like palette, that's about where the similarities end, and I think that's really, really good, because when I play Molten, it feels like I am just playing a brand new map. And I mean, that's due in part to just the absolute beauty of the map itself. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of the human palette, especially when you look at maps like the Rig, where it's all kind of quite clean, I guess. But in Molten, they really put a lot of effort into making it feel really dirty, grimy, and gritty. Like, you know, like you are in this really abandoned place. And all of the lava as well that flows through the map, it really gives like really creepy, warm glow to everything. And it's just so well made. I don't think we've had a map that kind of gorgeous since Overgrowth, which was one of the first arena maps that we got in the kind of set of updates and stuff. But the thing is, the difference is that Molten also plays really well, in my personal opinion. I only played it a few times in Team Slayer, I've mostly played it in Free-For-All, but from my kind of opinions so far, honestly, I think it's probably one of the better maps that's come in the update alongside Stasis. And really, like, there's not really much else to say. It's just a really, really pretty and a map that just works well. It's got pretty much everything going for it. I'd probably give it maybe an 8 or 9 out of 10. Obviously, it's not perfect. I'm more of a fan of symmetrical maps, and in that kind of regard, it doesn't really match what I like. But at the same time, it doesn't mean that I don't have fun on it. And there's already a ton of like little jumps and stuff people are finding, and it's just really, really, really well done. But I think, honestly, it's rather appropriate, after speaking about lava and fire and molten and all that sort of stuff, that we go on to the armor set that I mentioned when I was talking about the update previously, the Cinder armor set. I'm probably the only channel that's even going to be talking about the armor sets, because everyone else just seems tired of all the new armor sets and stuff, like, oh, they're just so horrible. No, for me, I'm actually going to talk about this Cinder armor set because I'm in love. It was like one of the first things I got in rec packs after the update, and I've been wearing it for like so long. I mean, especially when I went onto Molten just to get some kind of brief images of it, I just loved it. I loved it. I loved every bit of using it.